Before I start this video, what is physical education? So physical education plays an important role in shaping one's personality and characteristic in dealing with our daily activities in life. The way people view the field of PE in the past is so much different from how people view it today. Before, the physical activities is so informal in nature. But now, every activity that related to the field has something to do with regularity, science, and other fields which make physical education quite formal in nature. In the primitive society, before the age of technology, people moved in order to survive. Nothing else, nothing more. They move in order for them to hunt for foods. They move because they need to protect their lives from the wild animals in their surroundings. Mostly, primitive people live either beside the river or sea where their source of foods are coming. They need to be skillful, speed, power, strength, and agility, which they need to practice to become great in hunting. Basically, the primitive people were not organized. They only engaged in physical activities, mainly for food and protection. Physical education in ancient Oriental countries, India and China. In ancient China, it is said that their activity related to physical education is as old as how their development started. The growth of their sports took place along with their military, political, and economic progress. And there were also laws passed to keep invaders out from their country. This policy of isolation became the reason for the people in the country to be lack in motivation to be physically strong since there are no fear of aggression or invasion. The contribution of China in the physical education, though China embraced the sedentary lifestyle, it is still not a question that the country with its unique culture and intellectual ability contributed so much in the development of physical education. Here are some of the participation of China in physical education. First, rich families engage in music, dancing, and archery. Second, they have popular dances like split feeder dance, whole feeder dance, battle dance, and lastly, humanity dance. And lastly, some of their sports are wrestling, jiu-jitsu, polo, tug of war, kite flying, and lastly, the water games. A form of medical gymnastics was formed in 2698 BC because of the realization that the cause of their illnesses was their inactivity due to sedentary lifestyle. And they found out that gymnastics can provide the activity that will help become more active and reduce the sedentary lifestyle. The Kung Fu was considered the earliest form of exercise to be recorded in the history. This is the most exciting sport, especially in the Philippines after the World War II. Chinese sports was known to be diverse in nature. Now, let's proceed to India. Like ancient China, the religious life of the people affected their concern for their physical well-being. Reincarnation as the religious belief affects their partaking in the field of physical education. It is a religious belief that when a person dies, the spirit rebirths in a new body of forms of life. For them, in order to attain this goal, they need to concentrate solely on a spiritual aspect rather than on the physical body. Here are some of the participation of India in physical education. First, Hindu dancing, as the oldest organized dancing. throwing balls, dice, tumbling, chariot races, marbles, riding elephants, horse riding, wrestling, swordsmanship, and lastly, boxing are some of their favorite pastimes. And also, yoga is the biggest and most important contribution in the field of physical education in the India. Physical education in ancient Near East countries. First is Egypt, and second is Persia. First, let's talk about Egypt. With the myths which we use to hear from the past, Egypt has been a great contributor in the field of physical education. Sport and games are familiar activities of their past and even during present. Egyptians believe in living a full life, which means life full of physical activity. The physical fitness and sports for them are considered an important part of their lives as it helps maintain their health and vigor. Recreation in Egypt. Egyptians in the social class spend much time in outdoors from the time they were young. There are artworks, inscriptions, and letters that would prove this activity. The most popular toy of ancient Egypt is dog. It reflects the value for their people. And it is featured in a board game known as Hounds and Jackals. This is very popular during the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. Another game that is popular in the ancient Egypt and is considered the oldest board game, and it's called Mehen, which is also known as the game of snake. It was known to start in the early dynastic period in Egypt and was played in a single-legged board engraved with an image of snake. Some of the most popular sports played during ancient times were fishing, javelin throwing, boxing, wrestling, gymnastics, rowing, and weightlifting. The ancient Egyptians were considered a dance-loving people. According to the International Encyclopedia of Dance, as cited by Hans, dance was part of the Egyptian ethos. Dance rhythm is produced by clapping of hands, finger snapping, tambourines, drums, and body slapping. Next is Persia. The building of empire through military aggression was the main objective of Persia. It was King Cyrus the Great who encompassed the area now, referred to as Middle East in the early 529 BC. Their belief that a strong Persian army was a healthy and physical fit army had been their driving force to attain their goal. As early as 6 years old, the child is trained in different events, such as running, slinging, shooting the bow, throwing a javelin, hunting, and lastly, marching. The ancient Persian dance is characterized by both fascinating and incident events. Persian, known to be Iran today. People can methodologically show their love and decoration in the art of dance. The cult of Mitra. According to Kian 2014, the origin and rise of Persian dance as an independent and distinctive art form is estimated to be parallel with the birth of Mithraism and its spread. This cult centrally revolves around the ancient Persia's sun and light gods Mithra.
And that's all. Thank you. This is Irish Ermilio from BPE.